Alright, so the next move is going to be to go underneath the car and jack the engine up and support it so that way it doesn't drop. That'll enable us to go ahead and remove these bolts here and at least loosen them. And this is for the motor mount on the side. Next, we'll get all this power steering and everything up and out of the way in the back so that way we can get to the front. We'll also need to go underneath and remove a few items so that way we can detach the exhaust manifold and the exhaust manifold cover, as well as the pipe underneath the car. I'm gonna have to have all that removed anyway because the oil pan gasket sits right underneath there, and I have a feeling it's probably the original. The originals are normally black. The newer updated ones, if they're Felpro and they've been changed, they'll be blue. So just a little something to look for if you're ever out inspecting one of these cars and you're curious to know if it's had any recent work done to it. If those gaskets are black, most likely they're OEM and old, and if they're blue like this, it's probably a Felpro, something newer. That's what's commonly found at your auto parts store. Alright, so I got my jack stand here, and I also have 2 blocks of wood. You can go up to any Home Depot or Lowe's, look in the scrap wood section. 9 times out of 10, they'll let you have these for next to nothing. So they're fairly useful. You can help to raise the height of the jack, because remember, we raised it and we placed it on jack stands. And so now we can raise this jack to meet the bottom of the motor, just enough to leave it suspended in place once we detach these motor mounts, which we're going to be doing later. Here, those 2 blocks of wood, I'm just showing you how I have it positioned in place. Use one below for the base and another one for the top, and place it right underneath the oil pan gasket so that way you don't damage the oil pan. Now the gaskets, they can become compressed due to the weight of the engine, but I don't think you have anything to worry about there. You can see it's all kind of nastiness. Good under here, but that's alright because we'll clean this bad boy up real good. It's gonna look almost brand new when I'm done with it. Alright, but let's go back up to the top. Moving on. Okay, so to loosen up these motor mount nuts, it's 17 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cheater bar just so I have a little extra torque. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just breaking them. I'll come back. Oh my, that one was already loose. And I didn't tighten that. But whoever did this, they didn't tighten that down. Let's see if the other one, okay, that one's tight. Alright, loose. Oh. Now see, the motor mount is cracked, so we'll end up needing to get another one to go down there. And it's just a rubber shock mount, but that'll definitely help to stabilize out the ride. In the meantime, I'm going to go down, I'm going to check the jack underneath and just make sure that I have it cranked up as high as I can get it, so that way it doesn't start breaking this right here. Alright, so we went ahead and we removed our bracket. This is all shot. The rubber is dry rot, so I'm going to go ahead and get another one and put that in later. But that could definitely make a difference in the stability of your ride. So we're going to set that off to the side. The 3 nuts came out. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the power steering pump here, as well as the power steering pump. I may need to readjust my hood real quick just so I can lift this up out of the way, but we'll loosen up the adjusting nut, this nut right here, and then the one on the back side, let it drop, slip the belt out, and then we'll be prepared to move on.